This post introduces the SOFTAC integration suite of apps, following on the cadet unit's leadership theory for parent roles, and it talks about a chain of command modeled after the military system with a hierarchical structure with everyone's place in the unit, and that draws in as well ministers' delegations. So the post draws eyes onto this directive about the issuance and monitoring of official delegations, because the medical issue is unresolved with who has delegations to speak for the minister. So the monitoring of official credentials for delegation of authority is based on, for one thing, the knowledge, training, and experience of the delegates. So that's a segue to the Handbook for Canadian Aviation Medical Examiners, and draws eyes on to who has delegations and what a medical exam really is, as recorded in a 260010 by appointees after some training by the minister. So the Flight Ops program has a command and control concept through the military paradigm, and this puts the aircraft captain in the driver's seat. With the SimConnect, we have 6 degrees of freedom in the programmability layer. So I have a SOFTAC C-130 here representing 418 Squadron, and I've slewed the eyes over to the first officer's position. So you can take a look around and present some training material, even including the theory of the combining lens and the drop zone at the soft gun paintball range. Slewing eyes back to the flight engineer station puts us behind the co-pilot, looking out towards the right-hand side of the aircraft, and the same materials in his hands as well, with radio stacks in the background. We can jump to random stations, including this look beside the flight engineer. So looking forward out the cockpit, basically in the jump seat position, with the FE in front of us and the materials in his hand. And further, take a look down in the cargo hold from the load master or jump master station, with the seats left and right, the exits which would open on the ground, and looking up to the cargo ramp. We can prepare for a simulated para-jump ops and open the ramp in flight, and slew to the back to see the world receding from the ramp door position. And of course, the captain's eyes and first officer's eyes can be drawn into the multi-crew and multi-aircraft formation position as well. And that's a good segue to gender and the flight sim, introducing Barb Bach's efforts, noting on the same page forensics, flight ops restriction, and her opinions without any delegations, and that's really the point of this post, as she does mention a number of typewritten writings to include this flight safety preventative philosophy based on 408 Wendy White's experience. So prior to TACTI, we had quite a bit of time to put together a package to include this ethics in operations, and it talks about the role of the CO and the MO, and it notes the CO is responsible for many things but for accomplishing the mission. Here providing training materials as well, and the MO works for the CO like in Star Trek, and is also concerned with the mission. So for 408, that would have been learning helicopters and not quitting smoking. On the other hand, the Defense Ethics Program talks about the dominant position of the psychiatrist, and that is really why we're going through DRDC on the issue of human systems integration, because the aircraft captain is in the dominant position in any aircrew situation. So that brings in command and control through this Strike Hornet wedge tail presentation, and introduces multi-crew through the Tornado or Strike Hornet ops, and some of the presentations bought through this presentation layered display through our SimConnect dashboard, and drawing eyes on to the rear seat mission support systems, with the Tornado mission specialist or Strike Hornet mission specialist being adapted to the task at hand, and that's to support air ops. So we'll just go to the SimConnect layer here, and you can see the eyes have been slewed from this position, which is the driver's seat looking out back to the rear cockpit, with eyes out the back and onto the specialized instrumentation brought in through this presentation layer. So the FSX SimConnect integration layer allows us to build a fleet map to this GAG exercise tiger meat, and that's a play on the NATO's tiger meat as well. So drawing eyes onto the qualifications at each of the crew stations and various aircraft in the fleet, civil and military, with the aircraft captain and specialized crew being one unit in operation. And of course the command and control comes from the minister through delegations and onto the trained Canadian aviation medical examiners, but not the psychiatrists. So anyway, we'll just close the show with a look at the 233 glider from the front seat, and you can pan around, and this is basically available online through shareware. What makes this unique is this custom layer where we can set the eyes into the back cockpit, and here look back, and just to verify this isn't a wide angle zoom, simply changing perspective. You can see looking down there's the open door, the wing strut, and some of the structure from the glider. Eyes out the back, closing the canopy shows the bow, and we're ready for a launch. So just to close the presentation, you can think of the student or passenger being in the front or the back seat, with the instructor in this case holding the back seat. So if we were on departure and we had a rope break, the role of the instructors to take over and effect a safe recovery. So in the metaphor, we have control, and the eyes out the front would show the tower as we set up for downwind landing, and this is intended to confer some practical knowledge to the physicians of aircraft operations, meds approved for flight ops, the flight environment, etc.